So the question is, does the home for midterm rental insurance need to be a luxury home or no? The truth is, it does not. What it does need to factor in is the size. Is it large enough to accommodate a large family? Because my rule of thumb is that it's easy and doable to have a family of 5 in a 5-bedroom home than it is to have a family of 5 in a 2-bedroom home. One can fit a family of 2 in a 5-bedroom home, but you can't fit a family of 5 in a 2-bedroom home. Maybe you could, but things are not going to be as comfortable. So what do we optimize for? Not so much luxury. As a matter of fact, we don't focus on luxury at all. We focus on making things functionable. What does that mean? What does functionable mean? Well, first of all, you have to keep in mind that when a family is relocating, they're going to look to have what they typically had at home. So yes, flat screen TVs. Yes, maybe an office if they're working from home. Keep that in mind. Don't sleep on that. And yes, you named it, all the amenities that you could think of, from what they have in the kitchen to having a grill to all of the above. But it doesn't mean it needs to be luxury. The home needs to be functional, because if they're moving, sometimes they might bring some of their stuff, but you want to make sure you have the core basics within the home during move-in. Now, keep in mind that these families are also not, or very rarely at least, blindly selecting the property. Most families, as you should, or at least the way we do it, need to walk the property through. Now, why is this important? Because we might get a level of intel that they give us when they walk through the property. Here's a number one rule: do not let them walk the property without someone there to get feedback and address their questions, because some people will write themselves off and not pick the home. Indeed, in fact, because they might think, oh, it'd be nice if we only had a king bed. Whoa, slow down. First of all, you should always have a king bed. That's a huge feature to have across, whether you're doing short-term rentals, midterm rentals. Have a king bed in the master bedroom if you can. That's a huge selling point for people. Why? Go larger, right? People can fit in. If it's smaller, they might think it's a deal breaker, but you never let it be a deal breaker. What you do is you have them tell you that feedback, and because you know if that property is the right fit anyway, you bake it into your costs. It's worth it. With these kind of premiums that you can get on midterm rental insurance contract, it is worth it and not unreasonable for you to make these changes. We've made changes such as having a bunk bed for a specific family, buying a grill for a guy who wanted to have a grill on a specific property. At the end of the day, whether it's $300 or $400 or a couple $100, you're going to get a couple thousands of dollars per month in profit. And because things take long, whether it's water damage or rehabbing their home that they're coming from, or whatever the disaster might be, which again, I always talk about, does not have to be as crazy as you think. It's as easy as not being able to live in their home anymore. It usually goes on for longer than you think. Most insurance companies will start with a small number because they don't ever want to overshoot their shot, but then they'll continue to extend, right? We've had a family begin with like what I think was 3 months, extended to 8 months. That is not unreasonable. But going back to my main point, do not need a Hermes throw on the couch or your finest china. You do not need that at all. You do not need a luxury property. You do not need luxury items. What you do need is items that will actually last. Contract grade furniture, and you need it to look good. But here's the caveat, and here's why: if you come from the short-term rental space, you actually have an advantage. If you have a property that is just above average, or even just screams like, wow, this is gorgeous. We've had some families relocating saying this is better than my home. You want to have that effect, because when they start looking at a bunch of homes that they can relocate to, even if this one might be a little bit further away, if it's really nice, as in like nicer, not luxury now, but it's nice, presents well. Maybe you have some really nice color within the home, accent pillows, accent walls, you name it, and it presents very well. The very same way you take a short-term rental product and put it out into the marketplace with keeping things in mind. Don't be cheap now. Don't be a penny wise and a dollar foolish. That will then play a factor, but it does not mean that you need to get the $1 million home or you need to get things that are very expensive. So I hope I'm bringing the point home. If anything that you get from this video is, it's not luxury. It's not the L word, not the luxury word that you're thinking of. It's the other L word, and that's large. Go for larger homes. You can then solve more problems with a larger homes that you can solve one with a smaller home. And the reason I say home is because then you also can tap into an avatar. If someone was living in a 3-bedroom apartment and you give them a home, that's kind of an upgrade of a 4-bedroom home or 3-bedroom home. And it's kind of an upgrade if they get their own garage and their own backyard and their own privacy, etc. But vice versa becomes a disadvantage, because I always get the question, does this work with this? Does this work with that? I like to give myself the best chance. So if you can, why settle? But what I think you should do is hit the subscribe button if you got any value, and make sure you grab the Midterm Rental Insurance Blueprint on experimentrealestate.com.